Hey, I'm back. It's been a while since my last video. A few months ago, I had a big video project planned, but midway through I lost the motivation to finish it. I also lost my interest in the isle waiting for Gateway. Now that Gateway is here, I have newfound interest and decided to revisit this project. This is a new series of videos discussing what could be added to the isle. I'll be covering primarily new animal additions, however, I may also cover new ideas for mercenary and tribal gameplay. I expect that many of my propositions will not be added, and I know some of them may not have a place in the game. The main goal of this series is to speculate for fun, though you are welcome to seriously consider or refute my additions in the comments section. My videos will be segmented into different categories. The first category will be additions to the base game. This category will not be very large, considering how large the base game roster is. I may replace problematic members of this roster with better substitutes. The second category will be DLC additions. Some DLC additions will be intended to function with the base roster, and some will be intended to function outside the base roster. I will better explain DLC additions in a future video, but all content I include is intended to function around the current game. If it is intended to function with base content, it must not be irrelevant or make base content irrelevant. I intend to make new niches for playables to fill, not shoehorn new additions into already existing niches. For example, I would not propose adding Sarcosuchus, because it would basically be a copy of the already existing Deinosuchus. This will be especially important for DLC content because I'm not fond of pay-to-win systems. Now that we have covered the gist of this, let's begin with a base roster addition. Today we'll be talking about Gigantoraptor, the largest oviraptorosaur. This guy was a true unit. Weighing up to 2 metric tons, this would be a mid-tier omnivorous speedster. Its diet would be similar to Gallimimus, but having slightly more carnivorous tendencies. It would eat anything up to the size of maybe a Troodon. It would also have access to tropical fruits, however it would not be able to graze. Its preferred habitat would be open areas where it can use its speed to its advantage, but it would be comfortable in many different places. Its speed and stamina would let it live further from its migration zones, as it can quickly cover ground when it needs to feed. This would let it avoid predators easily, but that doesn't mean it can't defend itself in combat. Its bite would do below average damage. Its next attack would be a claw swipe. This swipe would do more damage and bleed than the bite, but would cost a small amount of stamina. Its ult attack would be a quick claw swipe that consumes more stamina, but can be used to catch nimble foes. The final attack would be a kick similar to Gallimimus, but does a lot more damage. It costs a lot of stamina and can be performed while running as a trade-off. The Gigantoraptor's powerful attacks would all cost stamina, which should balance out its speed and damage. If you want to deal lots of damage, you must pay with stamina. This would encourage players to be more strategic with their moves, even though the Gigantoraptor has good stamina. You may be wondering why we would add this creature when we already have Gallimimus. This thing just seems like a superior Gallimimus, but there are some differences. Gigantoraptor would be slower than Gallimimus, not as nimble, can't jump, has less stamina, has slower stamina regeneration, and lower group limits. Its diet could also be made more difficult than Gallimimus, and it grows slower. It would better be described as an omnivorous take on the Carnotaurus than a replacement for Gallimimus. Gigantoraptor is to Carnotaurus what Gallimimus is to Omniraptor. The purpose of this animal is to fill the gap between the nimble Gallimimus and the lumbering Dinogyrus. Furthermore, it's a really unique dinosaur. It'll probably be fun to play with, and I just really like it. I think it's different enough from the current mid-tier omnivores and herbivores to justify its inclusion in the game. Herbivore and omnivore players would appreciate a more aggressive playable to keep the meta fresh. But these are just my thoughts. What do you think? Let me know, and thanks for watching. See you next time.